Well, goodbye, July. It's the start of a brand new month. Welcome to August, also at the beginning of Women's Month. Now, more than 40% of South African households are headed by women, and almost 8 million are sole breadwinners. But here's a very worrying thought, and I'm not trying to bum you out this time of the morning. It's a reality. What happens when that income that you're earning that keeps your family going is threatened? It could be anything. It could be a minor illness. It could be major surgery. Income protection and income protection insurance does provide some relief if you've thought about it, if you have planned for it as well. Let's find out how this all works. Melody Cloete from Bidvest making time for me this morning. Melody, good morning to you. I appreciate the time. A little bit like car insurance, a little bit like home insurance, life insurance is we're basically hedging our bets, hoping it never has to be used, but hoping it's there if we do. Why is it so important?
It's so incredibly important to have, and especially with it being Women's Month. As you said, around 7.5 million South African women are either the sole breadwinner or the main income earner in a family, according to a general household study by Stats SA. And so it's really important for each of those women to ask, what is going to happen if something happens to them? How long are they going to be able to protect their families and pay all their expenses should something happen that they're not able to earn an income? And that's what income protection does for you, is should you get ill, should you have an injury where you're not able to work for a period of time, it's that income protection that's going to pay for everything that you need to spend money on a monthly basis. So, if we had to think of a hairdresser as an example, a simple, small thing that could happen, like, an injury hurting her arm, that could potentially mean she's unable to earn for a couple of weeks, even a couple of months.
Yeah.
And that means a loss of income for her family. So it's really, really important to consider whether you've done the correct financial planning and whether you put a plan in place.
Well, let's talk about that putting a plan in place, Melody,
like
as well, because I think a lot of people don't, because I think you've sufficiently scared us at this time of the morning. It's not a bad thing, though, because a lot of people aren't planning for it. And I don't think, and tell me if you agree, I don't think it's because a lot of women and a lot of people don't want to have life insurance. Life is just so expensive at the moment. They almost see life insurance as a luxury. The number of people who don't have their cars insured, who don't have household insurance, don't have life policies. But the problem is you rely on the salary now, but next month it could be gone. So of all the policies, one could argue that an income protector is one of those that you really need to have. Would that be fair? But are people not signing up? Is that what you're seeing?
Absolutely, absolutely. Income protection, as you say, that is the one insurance policy that pays for everything else. So it just makes logical sense to protect the income that's going to pay for everything else. And absolutely, affordability, we know, is one of the major issues when it comes to people buying into life insurance. We've definitely seen an increase in interest in income protection, specifically after COVID-19 and the pandemic. So many people really understood the financial impacts, an illness for a short period of time could have. So there's definitely an increase in interest, but affordability is an issue. And that's why it's important to have a really good relationship with your financial advisor.
And I want to get to the financial advisor in a moment, Melody, as well, because it can get very confusing for us Neanderthals who don't understand how this works as well. But I want to talk, because it's specifically for Women's Month that we're having this conversation as well. Why is there a particular focus around specific kind of protection income for women in our country? I'll tell you why, because it's a Bidvest Life report that shows that hysterectomies are one of the top 5 reasons for income protection claims. Now, I understand you're talking to a guy here, but help me understand, because it's a different way of looking at how you protect your income, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's so important for women to understand what the real risks are that they are facing. And as you say, hysterectomy year in and year out is always amongst the top 5 reasons why people claim on income protection. Having a hysterectomy, the minimum time to recover is 6 weeks. If we had to think of that hairdresser again, if you can't work for 6 weeks, that is going to have a massive financial impact on that family. The other risk that women face, looking again at the Bidvest Life claim statistics, is that 1/3 of all cancer claims on our critical illness lump sum benefits is for breast cancer. Breast cancer is another big risk that women face. So it's really important to understand those risks and then make sure that you've got the right kind of cover in place that is going to assist you should one of those events happen to you.
Yeah, and this is where I think you mentioned a moment ago a good financial advisor or a good life policy advisor, whatever it might be, because there's no possible way for anyone outside of your industry to understand what the risks are and how to plan for that, because you could be a 20-year-old woman now thinking that you're made of steel and you're invincible, but you're a very different person when you're 40, when you have kids and possibly medical complications. What does one need to look for in a financial advisor and know that you're not being led down the wrong path and someone's not just trying to make money from you because you're ignorant when you start this journey?
Absolutely. It's so important to have a really good, close relationship with your financial advisor. And I always like to say, picking a financial advisor is almost like dating. You don't have to, stick with the very first financial advisor that you meet. Shop around if you need to until you meet someone that you really feel that you can resonate with. And for a lot of female clients, that is finding a female advisor who is really going to understand what it is that you need. And as you say, there's a very big difference between the need of a 20-year-old and a 40-year-old. So financial planning is not a once-off exercise that you do when you get your first job and you never look at it ever again. It's going to change. And therefore, it's really important to have that financial advisor. They're going to hold your hand. They're going to walk this journey with you. It's important for them to really explain to you what the various products are, what you have in place, and specifically how those benefits work. That's something that we often see, is that consumers don't actually understand the product that they have. And that can really impact you when it comes to claim stage. So it's important to understand terminology, things like, what is my waiting period? What is the benefit term? How can I claim? When can I claim? And that is what the financial advisor is going to help you navigate and understand and make sure that you are covered sufficiently.
Yeah, it's almost like a Tinder for financial advisors. You can keep swiping right until you finally find the right one, because if you get the wrong one, let me tell you from personal experience, it can go horribly, horribly wrong for you. Melody Cloete, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. Training specialist at Bidvest Life as well. Life policies, income protection policies. As Melody says, the income protector policy is probably the most important one, because if you have a funeral policy, if you have home insurance, if you have car insurance, not going to mean much if your income isn't being insured, as all the rest of it just falls away if you don't have the money to pay for that if you were to lose your job. Didn't mean to